This is going to be your weekly tarot and oracle forecast. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies for the upcoming week, break it down day by day, and let you know how to navigate. So as I'm filming this, it is Sunday, it is Mother's Day, and I'd like to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day with those you love. This is an interesting time we're in right now. You'll notice the emotions are running high. There's a lot of tension in the air, a lot of fatigue. You might even be feeling just like you're over so many things. You know, you're at a point of exhaustion. Maybe that Ten of Wands kind of energy where you're mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally exhausted. Those solar flares that we're having are incredibly difficult on the body. I mean, yes, it's beautiful. We've gotten to see the northern lights in many areas, but I would say that physically, we're really feeling the changes. You can almost feel the upgrade in frequency that it's coming, or that is coming our way, excuse me, through these experiences. And it takes a lot of energy on the body or from the body to adjust, you know? So I encourage you to let me know in the comments, what's your word of the day? What's your word of the week? You know, how are you feeling? What is the vibe? So we're going to take some overall themes and messages before we begin. So let's take a look here. We have surrender. Isn't that interesting? Sky dancers. I love the colors in this card. You know, it kind of does remind me a little bit of the Northern Lights. But this is saying surrender. Let go, let God, let the universe take the wheel. If things aren't working for you, you've got to change something up. So much lately is me talking about sparking new energy and making moves. And I know when we're tired, it's hard to make moves, but it's okay to take a moment, a pause, a break, but then you get up and go, right? And surrender and let things unfold naturally. I think there's a lot of energy in the air right now where people really want to control the outcome. And I know that that's part of the daily talks we always have. But there is truth to this, that there comes a point where you really just can't control things any longer. You have to see how things unfold. And that takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of vulnerability to do that. And I encourage all of you to take a small step. You don't have to change anything overnight, but a small step to let something go. Let me know in the comments, what's one small thing that you could do right now? One change, one thing you could let go of, okay? Because these things don't happen overnight. You know, I was just reflecting about this on live, and even when I was off live, you know, in my own personal conversations. You know, I was reflecting of how many years it's taken me to get to the point where I am now. Now, of course, everybody's on a different timeline, and I'm not suggesting that it's going to take you the same amount of time. I'm just reflecting on myself, saying, holy smokes, boy, the last 10 years have been transformative, you know, especially the last 7 or 8. And I wish I knew then what I know now, hence why I do what I do, right? I love helping people throughout this process. But these are things that just don't happen overnight. It all depends on our perspective, how open we are, and what steps we're willing to take, and what things we're willing to release. What old stories can we let go of? You know, so let's take a look here what else we need to know. It is time to celebrate. Cultivate an air of celebration today. Well, we are celebrating Mother's Day, so that is a lovely card to have on this occasion. But not only that, let's go beyond Mother's Day for a moment, because many of us are mothers every day, right? It's not just one day. But this is saying celebrate where you are in life. Where are you most grateful? What small thing or small step can you celebrate? And, you know, it's nice to have an excitement. It's nice to have some joy in our lives, right? So let's see what else we need to know as an overall message. And we have wisdom. You know, this is something I've been talking about a lot lately. I feel like I'm going to repeat myself, so please excuse me. But look, knowledge is power. What you do with that knowledge is even more powerful. We are at a time right now of implementation. You have to take what you've learned from the past, apply it to the present so you can have a better future. Sometimes there's no excuse. You've been through many trials and tribulations. You've learned a lot of lessons, and it's important to implement what you've learned. And again, it's not going to happen overnight. It's trial and error, But at a certain point, we have to put our best foot forward and see what happens. And when we take some risks, we get some rewards, we surrender, we celebrate. I love that energy, okay? I'm going to put these cards a little bit higher up. I'm in a new place right now in regards to filming, so I'm going to have to lay out my cards a little bit differently than I normally do. But we're going to work with it as best as we possibly can. So what I want to do is look at each day of the week, okay? And let's see what energies we may experience, clarify them, and take it a step further, right? What messages come through? We're going to implement, right? That's our goal. So, on Monday, truth be told. Interesting. There could be something that comes to light here. This could be a heart-to-heart conversation. This could be some knowledge that comes to light. There's a mask on this card. This could be somebody taking off the mask and just being their authentic self. You know, one thing that you can see right now that is so important in the world and social media is authenticity. People who are being their authentic self and genuine. And you can tell the difference, you know, when somebody really cares. And I think that being vulnerable and taking off the mask is very important. Okay, so on Monday, you might notice that something is revealed to you, whether it's an aha moment or epiphany, or somebody reveals something to you. So let's take a look at Tuesday. We have never-ending story. Okay, well, here's a thought, and bear with me for a moment. It could very well be that whatever's revealed on Monday is a never-ending story. Somebody could think that they're being authentic and open, and yet what comes out is an old story. Excuses, justification. Gee, my throat lately has been really acting up, and maybe because I'm having a lot of deep conversations where I am right now. But, you know, here's the thing. The response to this truth, are you in the old or are you in the new? Are you keeping the story in an old story, or are you sparking new energy and being in the new? Sometimes we get tired of hearing the same old, same old, same old. And at a certain point, you got to get up and you got to make a move and you got to spark some new energy. So let's take a look at Wednesday. What do we need to know on Wednesday? Imagine. What do you hope for? What do you imagine life to be like? How would you like life to be like? Do you know what that feels like? You know, and sometimes that's hard for people because they'll say, you know, Kelly, I've never had that type of relationship. I don't know what it feels like. So it's hard sometimes to imagine it. But you have to do your best to think about the attributes, for example, that you would love in a person. Then be those things, because like attracts like. You know, what does your ideal job feel like? You know, look like? I don't know. You've got to sort of put yourself in the energy of already having it, right? We want to feel like we already have it. So imagine, there's nothing wrong with being in your imagination, but you have to learn to truly believe that you are worthy of it. I mean, you could say all the affirmations in the world, but you have to believe it, right? So let's take a look at Thursday. And we have a higher power. Isn't that lovely? Maybe this is about asking a higher power for some answers. And know that you're divinely guided. This is a number 4 card, which basically means angels are with you. You believe that you're supported. You believe that everything works out for you. And on Friday, go the distance. It's time to make those moves. I love that. It's time to push towards your goal. Whatever the goal is for your personal growth and evolution, I support that. I never support chasing a relationship or, you know, projecting onto someone we love, because ultimately it's not about the other person, it's about ourselves, right? So our growth, our evolution is going to bring that reward. So always make sure that you are learning, you're growing, you're changing, because that's how you get the things that are better. When you get better, they get better. Okay? And let's take a look at, let's see, Saturday. The yin energy, and I love that. This is feminine energy that says it's time for you to receive. And like I just said, it's time for you to receive the rewards. I want you in receiving mode. I always say receiving mode activated. And what does that look like? That can be very simple. It can be allowing yourself to receive a compliment. If somebody says, wow, I really like that shirt on you, say thank you. Don't tell them you got it for 20% off at whatever store you bought it. You don't have to justify. Just say thank you. Somebody wants to buy you lunch or dinner. Thank you. Or they just want to buy you a coffee. Thank you. You don't have to automatically reciprocate and, you know, go the next day and buy them a coffee or take them out for lunch as well. That can be in due time, but it doesn't have to be like right away. It's not about being transactional. You know, it's essentially just allowing someone to do something nice for you. Maybe they want to open the door for you, help you carry something. There's nothing wrong with allowing people to give to you. Okay? And ultimately, you've got to give to yourself as well. Do something nice for yourself, self-care. You know, I mentioned it on live, I believe, yesterday about buying yourself some flowers. You know, if that makes you feel good, then absolutely do it. Okay? Now let's take a look at Sunday. What do we need to know about Sunday? Time to go. How fitting, you know, for the end of the week. You know, this is about letting things go and moving in a new direction. So let's take a look, a sneak peek at the following week. Regeneration. This is all about going through a transformation and total change. Love that. You know, it's interesting. I just looked at these cards and it said 45, 46, 47. It's like I'm noticing like, well, and a lot of fours obviously as well. But in general, we had like progression, you know, time to go and regenerate yourself is basically the message there, right? Okay, so let's take some tarot. And which deck do I want to use? Okay, I'm going to use the Sun and Moon Tarot, which I have right here. And let's go back to Monday. Okay, truth be told, what do we need to know about this truth? Seven of Swords. Okay, Seven of Swords is some truth coming to light. This is somebody taking off the mask. This is saying they can't stay hidden forever. This could be some deception. It can be betrayal. It could be a lie that's coming to light. Whatever it may be, it doesn't have to be bad. I think something has to come out in the open in order to see real change. So there might be some truth coming out on Monday. Now on Tuesday, we talked about the never-ending story. Maybe this is something that has happened repeatedly. You know, somebody's been deceptive or there's always an excuse for something. And maybe this is where on Tuesday we're like, we're not living in that story anymore. Well, there's the Tower. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing, by the way. The Tower is about rebuilding and allowing yourself to grow and to change. You know, anybody who's had a Tower moment knows it's not easy, but it's what you do with that energy that's most important. I always say, if I've got to make it or break it, I'm going to make it. I have no option. I cannot stay in that old energy. I have to do different. If I want different, I have to do different. And of course, it's not easy. That's the answer. Everybody will say it's not easy. And it isn't. But we do our very best to take small, methodical steps that can help us change over time. It's just that we live in a society that wants instant gratification and we lack patience. And again, patience isn't waiting. You don't wait on anything. Nothing's going to come in and change your life. It's up to you to change your life. Now, the universe will force you by giving you Tower moments. Now, Wednesday we talked about imagining. Like, what is it that you want to manifest? What do you envision for your life? And the Chariot is telling you onward and upward. It's victory. I love that. It's making moves. And on Thursday, we had higher power. And look, the power of filling your own cup. The power of love. You know, love is one of the best vibrations that we can be in, right? So this is filling your own cup, having a brand new emotional beginning, almost like a spiritual love. And then here we have going the distance. Let's see. Queen of Pentacles, stability. You know, this is someone who loves her family and home. You know, she likes nice things, but she's also generous. There's a balance there. And so in order to find your stability and your happiness, you've got to go the distance. You can't give up, right? Surrender, as we said, but you never give up. And let's see, that feminine energy, that yin energy, we have here the Prince of Cups. Oh, are you ready to receive love? When you're in good energy and you feel good about yourself, you're filling your own cup, guess what happens? You attract that love in. You know, sometimes we think that someone's going to just fall from the sky and change our life. And it's not like that. Yes, people can motivate you, or a certain energy of a person can motivate you, but that doesn't mean they do the work for you, right? You are the one responsible for doing the work. Now, let's see, time to go. Well, if you want this energy to come in, you got to let go of the old, always. Your new life is going to cost you your old life. And look, temperance, patience, forgiveness. Yeah, it can be reconciliation, but I wouldn't get stuck on that word because it's got to be right. It can't be that never-ending story we talked about, because if it's that never-ending story, it's going to be a never-ending story. There comes a point where there's a boundary. You need to make that move. You need to say no. You need to detach. You need to figure it out for yourself. They need to figure it out for themselves. But this is also a card of something brewing. And what's brewing essentially is the regeneration, is the transformation and change, right? And let's see what else I need to know. That sneak peek. See, there we go, the universe. Completion of a cycle. Letting go of the old and going to the new, going to the next level, regeneration. I love that. Okay, let's get some oracle cards and see what else we need to know. Oh, geez, I'm having trouble picking up this one card. Why is it being so troublesome? Now I'm really curious what the card is. Oh, that's why. Look at that. Little bugger. 50-50. I'm going to throw this back into the deck, but I just want to make a point. If you're sitting on the fence right now and you're like, I don't know. It says at this time things could go either way. You don't want to be in that energy because that's just confusion. That's going to keep you in more confusion. Okay? So be careful how you talk to yourself. If you say, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, you're going to get more, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. And look at this, as I'm talking, I'm going to put this back in as well, but there's a reason why we're having this conversation, because look, there's the yacht or the ship. Go on an adventure, okay? Move yourself forward. You know, find a way to spark new energies. Maybe go on a trip or just go to a new location, even an hour away from you. Go away for the day, go away for the weekend. I don't know, do something different. Okay, so let's go to Monday. And we talked about truth be told, something coming to light. Here we go. Old car, weary, exhaustion. Remember I said to you earlier, in a way, there's that 10 of Wands energy, that mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally exhausted. It even says bone tired on here. Needs restoration, overdue, old habits die hard. Well, guess what? Somebody's been in an old story. Even says family patterns, back in time, stuck in the past, nostalgia. If you've been in that energy, you've got to find a way out of that. Okay, and that's how that tower moment happens, because we're ignoring the shift or the changes. Now here we go, the Black Widow. See, I mentioned it earlier, and it's funny how this came out like this. I mentioned with the Seven of Swords that it can be a bit of deception or betrayal, but it can also be low vibrational energy. This tower moment is coming to snap somebody out of the old story, the low vibrational energy, the stuck energy of the past. Because that never-ending story has got to go. Got to go. Now, let's see that Chariot energy, that imaginative energy that says victory, moving on. See, curtain call, it's showtime. Funny how I was just thinking about like Beetlejuice saying that. You know, it's showtime. Time to get up and make a move. It's your time to shine. Okay, let's take a look at Thursday. And there's the bonfire. Well, this is a very special card for many people in my online family. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. The big O is what's listed on this card, but I won't use the word. But essentially, that Ace of Cups, that higher power that we were talking about, this is enthusiasm, energy, heated, intense, joy, ignite, passion, ecstasy, exhilaration, spark. Get things going. Somebody got the fever in all the best of ways, by the way. Brand new beginning, a spark. And by the way, that Ace of Cups, that's the number 1, and you have a number 1 here as well. So brand new beginnings. What lights your fire? Now, we talked about stability and going the distance, because now we have a spark. Now we want to make moves. Now we have to do the work. The beehive is all about diligence and persistence and stamina. You've got this. Going the distance, exactly. Endurance. It also says effort and being patient and concentrating on your goals. Now, 8 could very well be an angel number that you're seeing. And that Prince of Cups, that Knight of Cups energy, are you ready to receive that love? Ah, interesting. I want to take another card with this. I'm actually very curious. This says optical illusion. I just come back to that 50-50 energy. What are you telling yourself? This is part of the problem. Because to me, this is an energy that says some of you want to stay in that old story. You want to believe something that maybe you've gone over and over and over again with, hoping that it will change. There's some projections here, and I love what it says on this card, even though I know it's not easy, but predictive programming. Some of you are already predictive programming. Love. Nah, I can't have this. They're just going to hurt me. It's going to be this, that, whatever. Well, who says? That's a never-ending story. That's an old story of the past. You know, so you got to ask yourself, are you seeing things clearly? Are you in your feminine energy? Are you allowing yourself to receive or not? Or are you trying to control it? Because if you're in that masculine energy, you're trying to control it. If you're in your feminine energy, you're allowing whatever comes in to come in. Even if it's somebody different or something different. You know, it's hard for people to understand this concept that you should ask for what you want or better, because you have no idea what could be around the corner that is better. You know, we think we know. We project it. We predict it. We say it has to be this way. They're this, and this. But I remind you, if this is about a relationship that you're thinking about, you know, do you want somebody who can't lead? Do you want someone who can't make decisions? Do you want someone that can make boundaries? Do you want someone that's deceptive? No. Because you're looking at the potential of somebody versus the reality of someone. Believe it or not, there is much better than those traits. And just because a person has the potential to be better than those things doesn't mean that they actually are. You have to give them time to get there, meaning you live your life and let things unfold naturally. And if they come and meet you at the top of the cake, if you know the cake analogy, you know, they'll meet you there. And if they don't, that's okay. Because if you ask for what you want or better, and you strive for better in yourself, you will get the reward. I can assure you that because I've been through it. And I would never tell you something I don't know personally. Now let's get back to Temperance here. Something brewing. Moving on. There's that 8 again. 888. Interesting. New life. Making adjustments. If you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling the void, if you're feeling that sort of separation, you know, it doesn't have to be that way. Okay? This also talks about completion of a cycle. And we know that the World card right here was completion of a cycle. We're getting into that energy where we're saying, let's move to the next. And here's the mirror. You know, I think this is the thing. I think there's a lot of people right now that maybe are becoming more self-aware. They're seeing things a lot more clearly. They're facing some issues, especially within the ego. And the ego is what? It's a mask. That's what we started off with today. There's a mask. There's this fear of moving forward, the fear of what if I'm wrong? What if I was wrong? There's all these who, what, when, where, whys, and hows that really don't matter. What matters is the present moment. We want to be in the good energy of the present moment so that we can have better moving forward. This is about self-love and self-appreciation, self-improvement, facing our insecurities, allowing things to unfold naturally and going to the next level, you know? And I think what's really hard for people sometimes, you know, even just looking at this image of someone looking into the mirror, like, what do you see when you look into the mirror? What do you tell yourself? You know, be very mindful of your self-talk or how hard you are on yourself, okay? So, and let me just add one thing. Everyone adds value. You bring something to the table every single day, and you need to celebrate that. Celebrate your accomplishments. Celebrate the small stuff. Super, super important, okay? So let's take a couple last bit of guidance here. And what do I want to use? I think I'm going to use these Divine Goddess Love cards. They're just general. Some of them are lovey, some of them are about the self. Let's see. Ascension. Together you soar towards the divine. How about this? Together we soar towards the divine. Collective energy. We're ascending, we're growing, we're changing. What did I say? You know, I never pick up these cards for this type of reading, but I'm glad that I did. Present. Now is the time to seize the moment. I just finished saying how important it is that we are in the present energy. True love. Do not doubt, for you are always loved. Absolutely. And that love starts within you. Self-love. Oh, my goodness. You can't make this up. Unmask. Reveal your thoughts and feelings. Well, guess what's coming starting on Monday? You may already be experiencing this. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But wow, you just cannot make this up. What a very deep reading. Well, I really appreciate your time. And as always, your likes, your comments, your subscribes, they mean the world to me. I have the best online family. I'm so grateful for what I do. And thank you so much for listening to me. I wish you all a wonderful week. If you'd like to do a personal reading with me, the link is in my bio. Again, thank you very much, and we'll talk soon.